Hello, this is Sensor Gambino here with a new video. In this video I'm going to be doing my leak video where I cover a bunch of the different leaks that were revealed as part of Grand Theft Auto Online or Santos Drug Wars. But yeah, starting off, I will go over a couple of things from Class Q here, at Class Q GTA over on Twitter here. And yeah, starting off, there's some sort of unreleased top apparently that was probably cut from the DLC or something, or it might be for like an event week or something. Known as a Downtown Cabco River Collar. And yeah, it has a pretty interesting skyline. And I'm not going to really go into it too much more because it could pertain to something in the far future and whatnot. That's the hint I will provide there. And then, yeah, cargo plane thing here as well on the show off. One of the last dose missions, at least one of the last dose missions, will be featuring some sort of new cargo plane that will have like damage to the back and then a mounted crane in the cargo hold. And yeah, mission static object there as I mentioned and everything. And then I will go into GTA Expert here. A couple things I want to go over on this one here as well. But yeah, something interesting is that Rockstar actually removed the alien weapons from ammunition. And the reason for that seems to apparently be is that it will be featuring in the upcoming gun van that Rockstar hinted at on like their Rockstar Newswire when they released the DLC. So when they release that new gun van, you should be able to once again obtain those alien weapons if for some reason you have not obtained them beforehand. And yeah, the gun van is also set to feature the railgun. The railgun is apparently set to be a drip feed weapon as part of the Los Santos Drug Wars DLC. And it's most definitely not going to be like the exact same copy-paste like railgun from the story mode. Just like the stun gun, how they like significantly nerfed that one, I assume the reason it was not like a ownable weapon for years upon years in the game before is because they considered the one in story mode to be too overpowered for the online. So it's most definitely not going to be a one-on-one copy, no doubt. More on that later, perhaps. And then, yeah, the Gooch will be some kind of like festive, like beast kind of like character that will attack you, and then if you catch him, apparently you get some kind of gift. That's something that should be happening pretty soon. And then on to 4-ball here. I'll be going over like a good few to several things on this one here. But yeah, here is a little like preview at some like gun van stuff here. And there was like a little image thing they showed off a couple days or so before like they released the Los Santos Drug Wars DLC. I think it had like a brand new livery on like the baseball bat and like the micro SMG. I assume some of those like new liveries and like that one like teaser image will probably be tied to this gun van here, so there's probably going to be like some pretty exclusive liveries, I imagine. In addition to some of the other stuff that was probably in the gameplay earlier. And that'll be where you find like your like railgun and maybe other exclusive kind of weapons similar to like the agency in the game. And I'll go over a couple of these like random events stuff and whatnot. There's going to be some sort of upcoming Merryweather convoy event where you can deliver to your bunker for supplies, or if you don't have a bunker, you can apparently instead take it over ammunition, kind of like the thing that you do with the Dune loader as of like the Colonel Enterprise DLC where you make the easy like $50,000 with it. Next like random event thing here will be like a store robbery event. It's basically just the one from story mode. You basically just kill someone and then you can deliver it over to the store. Nothing really that significant. It's definitely one of the more simple ones. I think they're definitely doing quite a better job with these random events it seems than they did with the Colonel Enterprise ones, I feel. Because honestly, I feel to like Flare and like the plain one where it like crashes into the water. I feel those are fun like one time. I feel they feel mostly tedious. Some of these other ones at least can give you like business supplies and aren't necessarily the longest like random event thing. That feels like it's just supposed to like be a placeholder while you wait for vehicles to release essentially. So I think they're definitely doing a better job with these random events. Next like random event thing here will be like an upcoming like bank robbery like shootout thing that's apparently inspired by Die Hard, some sort of movie. And that will be how you unlock the new like WM-29 pistol. So there will be a brand new pistol in the game. And apparently there will also be a Season's Greeting skin for the existing pistol Mark II from like the gun running DLC. And Die Hard, as far as I know, that movie takes place at like a Christmas party and stuff from what I've heard, so it could be something that releases pretty soon. No doubt. There's also a Drip Feed award apparently where you have to take out hostile versions of yourself. So it definitely reminds me of like the doppelganger kind of thing they did during like one of the like Halloween kind of event things they did for the Criminal Enterprise DLC previously. I imagine it would be something kind of like that. And then yeah, new railgun. Apparently we'll be able to one-shot players at full health. If you have full armor though, apparently you will survive. And yeah, auto aim is disabled, so it will be forced as a free aim weapon, it sounds like, even if you're in like certain targeting modes. And yeah, I'm not going to go over the rest because it kind of goes into like last dose like spoilers and stuff. Might have accidentally showed one there for a moment, but I don't really want to spoil like the upcoming like story missions or anything. So I will stop at this person right here. They definitely have a lot of good leaks though beneath, but I will be linking in the description below. And then onto Wild Brick 142 here, going into some other like leak content and whatnot. There will be a brand new like taxi driver odd job. And every fare the tip will slightly increase until the tip caps out after 10 fares. I believe that'll also be how you end up getting a trade price, by the way, for like a taxi, because you will actually be able to buy the taxi on the Warstock Cash and Carry website, as I'll be showing off later on. I'll be showing those vehicles pretty much at the way end. Unlike 3D Universe games, it looks like there's like no time limit between the fares as well. Because 3D Universe, there would be like time limit between the fares during like the odd job thing that you have to do for like 100% completion in those games. And yeah, that is indeed how you unlock the trade price for that taxi there. Snowman collectibles should be something pretty soon here, no doubt. Destroying all 25 will get you a snowman outfit. I believe it also credits you with a set amount of like money as well, as you would typically expect. Christmas Day gifts here. We'll actually have a new candy cane weapon. Candy cane weapon can definitely be kind of pretty cool. It definitely reminds me of like the cane weapon from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. There was like a cane like gift weapon, I think. Some weapon that you can gift over to like girlfriends and stuff like that as well. So it definitely reminds me of that right there for the candy cane. And aside from that, it's just like different kinds of like cosmetics and your usual stuff. And for the New Year's stuff, there will be pretty much just different new cosmetics and then usual stuff. So you'll need to go on for Christmas Day, it appears, for that candy cane. There will be a brand new garage property here, which explains the lack of vehicle storage with day 1 of the update. Now this I am definitely not a fan of. They are now locking garage space to drip feed. Me personally, definitely could have used more vehicle storage, no doubt there. beforehand, but yeah. It'll basically be like 5 high-end apartment like garages essentially that you have like some slight customization, kind of like your penthouse apartments. And then there's like an area like inside where you can like actually sit on like a couch and stuff, so it's like they opened up like the interior kind of thing there as well. Pretty cool. Definitely a pretty cool kind of garage, as simple as it can kind of be, aside for like the little bit of colorization. Again, kind of reminiscent to that penthouse apartment for customization side of things. Apparently you can individually color the like different floors as well, so that is definitely pretty hype. And then I'll be going over a couple other like random event kind of things and stuff that were not covered on the previous like floorball like person here. And yeah, if I didn't mention, I'm talking about like Wild Brick 142 stuff here. So credit goes to Wild Brick 142 here. We have street dealers. This mechanic thing here, like the RAM event here, definitely reminds me of Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, which was another HD Universe GTA game, alongside like Grand Theft Auto 4, and then your episodes of Liberty City, like Awesome Damn Watergate Tony. Chinatown Wars was also like a HD Universe game. It was on like the Nintendo DS, and it's on like iPhones and stuff like that. Kind of went back to top down, which is pretty interesting, but yeah. Had a pretty cool drug dealing thing, definitely very reminiscent to that. Stash house here. So it looks like they didn't just have like Gerald like on the phone for no reason. It looks like when it came to like one of the like teaser images that they did before the release of the Santos Drug Wars, they kind of had like Gerald on the phone and it like beneath Dax or something. I was wondering why they had that contact there. But apparently Gerald will actually be heavily involved with some like upcoming like free mode events. There's a stash house here where you go into a safe and then you can get cash or supplies for certain businesses. So similar to that gun running one that I showed earlier in the previous Twitter user. There'll also be a G's cash here, a dead drop collectible essentially, where Gerald will have a stash of cash, ammo, and snacks. And I'm pretty sure that is all I want to show off on Wild Brick 1 or 2 here. Last but not least, I want to go into Test 2, where I'll be talking about the new like vehicle additions, which I pretty much always tend to do last. But yeah, starting off, there will be a taxi service fast travel, which they kind of hinted at on like that one like teaser image that had like the Journey 2, the Brickade 6x6. And then there was like the taxi vehicle on there as well that kind of hints at that taxi service fast travel thing. Sounds like it's going to be some exclusive fast travel to the subscription service on the 9th generation versions of the game. And then, yeah, vehicle drip aid here. Start to go over these vehicles here. And there's probably like one other thing I want to talk about a little after that all. But yeah, starting off, a little thing to mention about the NIS 300R. Even though it is in the game right now, you actually only get until like December 28th, and they're actually going to be removing the vehicle. Either the vehicle itself or like its money tech upgrades, one or both of those might be going away apparently on December 28th. That was an interesting wrench in the drip feed. Maybe they end up reintroducing it later on for some reason in the drip feed, but yeah, that's something that's going on for whatever reason. And then for the first new vehicle here for Legendary Motorsport, there will be the Western Power Surge. And apparently that is going to be a new like electric motorcycle in the game. I actually do not think there's currently an electric motorcycle in the game, so that will actually be a pretty unique vehicle over here. But yeah, if it's like your typical like electric vehicle, it's going to be pretty piss poor top speed though, so in my opinion, motorcycles definitely really want that top speed, so I don't really feel it's necessarily going to be the most funnest one to cruise around in, but Still a pretty unique motorcycle at the end of the day. For 1,605,000 there. Next up will be the Classic Cube Broadway, which will be $925,000. And the Broadway, for those that are not familiar with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the Broadway actually returns from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. It was actually the pimping vehicle of that game where you would do like the pimping side missions. So pretty cool to see the Broadway coming back. I actually did not expect the Broadway of all things to be coming back. I believe that was actually the vehicle they hinted with like the taxi livery along with that like Brickade 6x6 and like Journey 2 there. And yes, something else interesting about the Broadway is it actually brings back the Classic Cube manufacturer, kind of. The thing was, in Grand Theft Auto 4 and like the episodes in Liberty City, Classic Cube actually was involved with manufacturing the Stallion. But for some reason, for Grand Theft Auto 5 and online, they turned the Stallion into the Class A vehicle. So technically, the Classic Cube manufacturer is returning with the Broadway here for Grand Theft Auto Online. So yeah, returning manufacturer from Grand Theft Auto 4 and episodes in Liberty City. Even though apparently there's still Classic Cube badging on the Stallion, this will be their first whole new manufacturing for a vehicle in Grand Theft Auto 5 and Online. Next up will then be your Tundra, Panther, whatever. And that will be a new sport car for $2,170,000 from a brand new vehicle manufacturer that was not previously in the game before or any other GTA for that matter. So that would definitely be pretty interesting here. And last but not least, for the Legendary Motorsport website, there will be the Ocelot Virtue, I'm pretty sure it is, which will have a buy it now price of $2,980,000 and then trade price of $2,235,000. I'll kind of show what that is right now here. Something else to know is that it will actually be in a Monitech vehicle here, since it has mentions of missile lock-on jammer, remote control units, hook lines, and your armor plating. Though from what I hear on the contract DLC, a Monitech vehicles, it will not have that bullet resistant glass, unfortunately, so you will not get the bullet resistant glass and you won't be having the machine guns on the front. So it's going to be just like your Colonel Enterprise DLC Monitech vehicles, and also that a NIS 300R Monitech is the same way, essentially. And yeah, trade price for that one, you have to complete last dose BDKD. And from what I hear, that might actually be your last dose mission, so it will be the last of the 12 new missions as part of the Los Santos Drug Wars DLC. So yeah, that's a very interesting vehicle there. It will have a Monitech, which means it can have armor plating and whatnot. And then I'll go into Southern San Andreas Super Autos here. Starting off for that website, there will be the Weenie Izzy Rally. And that will be $1,835,000. And that is essentially an Izzy SUV in the game. From what I heard from Ruffy1322 as well, which will not feature on these tabs here, but will be linked in the description down below. The Izzy Rally will apparently be a HSW vehicle as well when it comes to the 9th generation version of the game. And like your typical HSW vehicle they do through Drip Feed, they'll probably make it for free through the subscription service and probably have 2 exclusive liveries to it and whatnot. But yeah, the Izzy Rally will apparently be a brand new HSW SUV in the game as well. Personally, I don't really necessarily see dethroning the Astron custom HSW, because the Astron custom I feel was more of a sportier SUV than the Izzy Rally here. But then again, there's vehicles like the Izzy Sport when it comes to all the different Izzy's in the game, so it could technically still be pretty quick, no doubt. And then there is the Karen Hot Ring Everon, whatever. Basically a brand new like hot ring version of the Everon that was in like the Diamond Casino Resort, like Diamond Casino Heist update. That vehicle now became the hot ring treatment. No left by it now, price of $1,790,000 and trade price of $1,342,500. And yeah, that trade price here. The trade price will be placing top 3 in 20 San Andreas Super Sport Series races. And if it's anything like your price challenges and stuff like that, you don't need to play with other players. I'm pretty sure you can just do like solo races, and you will obviously be first place in a solo race, so that will probably be a pretty easy trade price to obtain there. Back over to the drip feed vehicles, there is also the Willard Eudora here. Willard is actually the manufacturer of the factions, like the Faction Custom, and then the Faction Custom Dunk. I think those are the only other vehicles that Willard actually makes in Grand Theft Auto 5 and online. So Willard is a pretty rare manufacturer when it comes to Grand Theft Auto Online, so it's definitely pretty cool to see that one coming back. And that will be yet another muscle car like they typically make in the game right now for Willard. And then last but not least, on the Starting San Andreas Super Auto website here, there is the Karen Boar here. Eudora, by the way, is $1,250,000. And the Karen Boar here, whatever, will be $1,080,000. And that is apparently in the off-road class here. Hot Ring Everon, by the way, that is in the sport class, just like your Hot Ring Saber is right now. We had a Karen Boar, that's an off-road vehicle. Not the most off-roady looking vehicle, also might not be the best like performing off-road vehicle if I were to take a guess. But regardless, pretty interesting classing for a very civilian looking vehicle. Definitely quite the interesting looking one there. And then last but not least for your drifting, there will be the Brigade 6x6. And yeah, the Brigade 6x6, that is not new, it's already in the game. But if you actually look on the interaction menu before you actually unlock the Brigade 6x6, it will say that it will become available for like Warstock Cash and Carry. So it looks like if you do not want to do the first dose missions, it looks like you can actually buy it for $1,450,000 later on if you just want to get like right into business and stuff like that. Personally, I recommend just doing the missions though. You get a good bit of money for your first time completion due to certain awards in the game and stuff. No reason not to, really. It's more there for more convenience if you just don't want to do the missions. And then yeah, the taxi, its buy now price $650,000, and then the trade price $487,500 here. And it should just be a Pegasus vehicle as you would probably expect. But yeah, this one is just a regular taxi from like day one of the game. It's not like the arena version or something. Arena version is technically a complete separate version as like the red paint job and like the lowrider kind of wheels and stuff, similar to like some of the 3D Universe games and whatnot. But yeah, that one's going to be more like your typical taxi. And yeah, they mentioned that already unlockable by reaching sponsorship tier 25. But again, it's a very different taxi nevertheless. And last but not least, lots of story-driven missions are included as part of the drip feed. So it's actually not going to be a new title update as many were thinking it would be. So yeah, Santos is actually part of the same update, which might definitely be a good bit disappointing, so this is going to basically be a bunch of content for at least like 6 months, maybe even longer, since it's kind of a two-part update and whatnot. But yeah, I think that is finally going to be it for this video though here. Hope you enjoyed.